Hi everyone, welcome to Mike's Classic Auto World. On today's road trip, we're going to look at a 1946 Nash Slipstream four-door sedan. And I have Chris here, who's the owner. Thank you, Chris, for showing us your car.
Sure.
This is a really neat car. It's got a lot of options, got a lot of gadgets. I'm going to focus on his board real quick so you can get an idea of what's up with the car. 46 Nash Ambassador Slipstream four-door sedan. This car has a lot of options. Chris,
Come on in.
tell us a little about the car.
Come on in. We'll take a look.
Okay.
I was told the car was purchased new in Erie and
Okay.
driven across Canada several times. When we bought it, I bought it as a gift for my wife, and then we restored it. It took me 10 months to restore it. It is as factory correct as possible. If you want to take a look, starting up front, we have the Nash tissue dispenser that actually has the Nash on it. That was something that's extra. It is weather eye conditioned air. The air coming into the cabin actually goes through a filter. It's not air conditioning. Everybody seems to think air conditioning.
Wow.
The radio is a Zenith radio. It's a factory setup. It even has floor controls. If you push it down the whole way, it changes the station. If you go part way, it will change the volume.
Where's the floor control?
The floor control is the black knob clear over to the left of the kick panel.
Okay, I see it now.
The brown knob before that is the starter. You actually push the clutch down to start it. That way, it's a safety feature. You cannot start the car because it will not be in gear.
Gotcha.
With that. The cooler is just an aftermarket.
Yeah,
it's here, but most of the time you see them in red. We have a blue car, so we had to have the blue.
What are these switches over here? These two things here. Do they work the...
These two, the two on either side of the chrome is the actual radio.
Oh,
it's
okay.
here. The cigarette lighter is what's underneath. Or nowadays we call them the power source.
Yeah. You've got a lot of add-on Nash stuff here.
Right. The knobs up top are for the wipers. The one closest to windshield is for the front wipers. The one to the back is for the rear wiper. And you can't see it right there, but there is a squirters, the button that's up there as well for that. Okay.
A lot of goodies in there.
Then this one is the back seat actually folds into a bed. It takes about 3 minutes to make it. The part here is the actual part that it hinges in the back and goes to the top. And then it hangs with straps here. The part that you sit on for the back comes out like a sleeper sofa. And there's two posts that hold it up.
Yeah, I see it right there. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The next, you see this little cushion back under here.
Okay.
That cushion folds up so that when you look through the trunk, that's the cushion that you would see.
Okay.
And so they say it takes about 3 minutes to make the bed up. Now, when you're sleeping, you have actual screens.
Look at this.
And those screens actually stay on the car, and you can roll the windows up and down.
That's the screen. That is so cool.
This
was optional, right?
This was an option, yes.
Wow. Look at the detail here.
Yes.
Very, very cool.
With the Nash. The only problem that I can foresee is once you crawl in and you want to go to bed, you want to lock it. The lock is from the outside of the screen.
On the other side, yeah.
It's not on the inside of the screen.
Well.
For that. I have found the vent shades to put them so I can keep the windows down in the rain like we had today.
That's cool. I see you have a card here with options.
Yes, this is a window sticker. My wife and I made these. No car came with window stickers until 1959.
Okay.
And I'll show you on the other side. So we made that one to represent those.
Why don't we look at the back since we're in the back already?
While we're back, here is the rear wiper.
Yes.
Okay. Only an option on the fastbacks because supposedly the rain would be there, and it would seem when I drive it in the rain, you can see the water drops on either side. But that's for the center.
That is cool. I didn't even realize they had wipers that long ago.
Everyone thinks an 81 Honda was the first car with a rear wiper. Okay, then we get into the fun part. The actual trunk with it. They say it sleeps a 6-footer comfortably. I have never slept in it. I have laid down to work on the rear wiper in it for that. With that, it is a mat. Here's the actual mat for it with the Nash. It says Nash Motors on the bottom.
Okay.
The actual tag that's on it. I consider it like a dog mat, something that you would have on the dog for that.
This is what
you've got all kinds of
the quilt. My wife made the quilt. Those are all ads from Time Life and Collier's magazines and everything.
All these different
There's
squares.
30 different, yes, there's 30 different ads
Okay.
on there. Here, I'll show you. This is a Nash accessory. This is an air mat. So that if you would go to a pool and you wanted an air mat,
Yeah.
what you do is you would take it out. If you look, there is a valve right there.
Okay.
That valve goes to this valve that you screw that on there.
Okay.
Then you put these two together and then you can pump it up.
Oh.
So that you're not out of breath.
Yeah.
You're not out of breath when you want to use the pool.
And there's enough vacuum in here. It's sealed
right.
tight enough that you can create vacuum.
Yes.
Wow.
And so that this is a little bit later than the car, but it is a Nash
accessory. I see you've got all kinds of Nash memorabilia.
A lot of fun
Nash
stuff.
first aid kit,
yes.
auto kit.
Now, a lot of these I take a little bit of liberty in doing.
Yeah.
Like this auto lamp kit.
Yeah.
This is actually a can of Neverdol that you use to clean the bumpers and things with. And so I've taken it apart and I've I carry my spare light bulbs and fuses and everything in there and make it a lamp kit.
You may do it.
For that, yes. The first aid kit, Nash never made first aid kit. I have seen other makes with first aid kits.
You got me on that one.
And so what I did, I even went one step further and labeled all of the insides. Because you can still get most of these through your Army Navy surplus store.
Look at that. And they all have the Nash logo.
And they all put the Nash logo.
Well, you would have fooled the heck out of me with that one.
Now, I will even show you this one. We have a lot of fun with this too. Most of these polishing cloths, people would pull them out, wipe them down, throw them away. So to find originals are almost impossible.
Yeah.
So I saw one on eBay, but it was like $100. I don't want to spend that kind of money. We saw this. My wife and I actually made this one. And after we made this one, about a year later, we found an original.
Wow. That is cool.
A lot less than $100.
Yes. A little bit of effort and
for that.
Some thought. And got it.
The other one I will show you since you're here is we found a factory mistake. This is a toolkit. I had my mother-in-law make the toolkit. Okay. But if you take a look, that A is stamped upside down. Because here's the wrench that actually has the A stamped upside down.
I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. There you go. Get a little bit of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know how rare they are, but someone must have been sleeping at the factory when they were making the wrenches.
It's not like a stamp. Right. A mistake on a stamp could be millions of dollars.
Yes.
Very cool stuff back here.
For that. And
you've got this the gas tank cap, which sticks out very far.
It is an electric gas cap.
Really?
So that you push the button and it pops open. Here, I'll get you real quick.
Okay.
Here.
Wow, look at that.
Which is always a little scary when you mix gas and electric.
Yeah, I was just going to say you don't need an issue with the electrics.
Yes.
That is cool.
And that was a factory accessory on quite a few cars.
Really? Nash had that back then?
The instructions that I have show for a Ford and show for a Hudson and show for different makes that's on there. So
you have all kinds of Nash buttons and stuff. Check out these buttons. Nash Auto Light Week, Nash Millionaire Holiday. Look at all this stuff. You are without a doubt the Nash man.
Yeah.
Look at this.
With those, I even on my.
Wow.
Like I said, we have a lot of fun. Yep.
You do, and your cap.
This is.
You got all your cap?
And I just picked up a button from here for that. This is what, instead of window stickers, this is what used to be the window stickers. They would hang these on the doors so that you would see them for that. 59 is when the government stepped in and said all cars have to have window stickers. Okay. Because there was too much price gouging going on for that.
And you've got the screen on this side of the window as well with this little butterfly.
Put a ladybug on there because a lot of people don't see the screens. And so with the ladybug there, you can actually see the screens.
Can we look in the engine compartment?
Sure. Yeah. Come on.
And you've got a sun visor before you pop the hood.
Right.
That's an accessory. We've seen them in all kinds of American cars from the era. What are we looking at here?
This is an overhead valve 6-cylinder. It's a 234.6 cubic inch.
Okay.
With it, it has 7 main bearings, so that means it runs fairly true.
Good.
Nash was one of the ones too. It has a cross-flow radiator and an expansion tank. This is almost like our modern cars today that have an expansion tank.
Yes.
For that.
Look at that up there. Pretty neat.
It does have the generator on this side. There's a shaft through the generator that runs the water pump. Okay, that's back there. And everybody gets a chuckle out of the oil can that's over here.
Let me go to that side.
Okay. Oops, I'm sorry. The oil can that's there, and it's because the distributor has the oil drop on the top of it. The generator has the little oil drop too, and about every 1,000 to 2,000 miles, you're to put a drop of oil to keep it lubricated.
Wow.
Yes. Now, when
you got the Nash decal on your
on the windshield washer, yes, on the windshield washer fluid,
and this has the squirt. I didn't know they had it back then.
Yes. What I thought was amazing too was on the dash it has the lights for turn signals, but yet it didn't have turn signals on it. There were no bulbs in it with it. So that was
very neat. I know, Chris, we were talking a little bit ago, and you had said a lot of these options you had to search out. You spent a lot of time.
Yes,
on eBay, on the internet.
eBay, on the internet. We go to a lot of car shows. I've been to Iola, Wisconsin, Carlisle, Hershey, Charlotte. I've been to a lot, even Canfield, Ohio, that we go and walk around looking for Nash parts.
I think you found them all for your car. Your goal was to seek out every option.
I'm missing one, so that if any viewers out there, I'm looking for a winter front.
A screen?
And I think it was a piece of leather that went in front of this grill and had big coil springs. I think they were about that tall, and they would screw in here to keep cold air from going into the radiator so that the car would warm up quicker.
And what's it called again?
It's called a winter front.
Winter front.
But here again, I'm not going to be driving the car in the winter, so I really don't need it, but it would be nice to have the accessory.
Exactly. Hey, folks at home, if you know where Chris can get that part, please leave the comment below. Let him know. He'll be checking the video out from time to time, I'm sure.
Yep.
And that's what the last option you don't have?
That's the one. There are spotlights, but I've been told I don't like the looks of spotlights on the cars. But if I were to add them now, I've been told the wiring goes through those pillars. Yes. And if I were to drill into it, I would get into the wiring for the turn signals in the back or the lights, tail lights, and I don't want to do that. So we're gonna go without that.
That's maybe the one option you don't have. Check out that Nash emblem there. Almost resembles a Cadillac.
That's
at a glance, it almost looks like Cadillac. The design of it.
They called the Nashes the Kenosha Cadillacs because they were made in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And so they also called the bigger ones, the earlier ones, they called Mini Duesenbergs.
Beautiful.
Because as big as they are.
Is there a name for that other than the lady?
They're Petty hood ornaments.
Petty.
George Petty. And they had different ones for different years. Cool. This one, the hair's against the body going back. In 47 and 48, the hair actually splits, and so there's a V.
You can see a little wave in the reflection of the hair.
Yes.
It's cool. Chris, it's an amazing car.
Thanks for
coming. I want to thank you for taking the time to show us your car and explaining all the little details. Folks, tell me what you think of this car. Leave your comments below. Definitely subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time. Chris, thank you very much for giving us your time.
Okay, thanks.
Talk to you later.